Welcome, and in today's video we're going to start off with section 1-1 variables and expressions. So as we get started, there's some stuff we need to know, and those are some vocabulary terms. So the first one are variables. Also, they're the letters that are used to represent unknown quantities, such as x, y, z, n. These are our most common, but you can really use any letter you want. An algebraic expression consists of one or more numbers and variables with one or more arithmetic operations. So x plus 2 is an algebraic expression. 2 plus 2 would be a numeric expression. Okay, so you need both numbers and variables. Okay. Factors are quantities being multiplied. So 3 times 2, those are both factors. All right. Evaluate just means to find its value or solve. Okay, so when you hear the word evaluate, you think of solve. All right, so now let's look at this. 3 to the 4th power. Okay, now it really means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. It's repeated multiplication. So we have parts of it that we need to look at. Okay, so the 3 is the base, and the 4 in this case would be called the exponent. Using this information, the power, a power is a base and an exponent together. It just means repeated multiplication of the same factor. Repeated multiplication of the same exact factor. Okay, so like in this case it was 3 to the 4, so it meant 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So, next thing we need to do is learn how to translate. So, if we understand what math words mean, that way we can see it on paper and know exactly what to think. So, the first one we're going to look at is addition. These are just some words, not all of them. You have sum, plus, total, more than, increase by. These are all different words that when you see them, you can think, I need to add. The next one, subtraction. We have difference, less than, minus, decreased by. The really irritating one in this list would be less than, because it actually switches the order of the information given. All right, and we'll have an example of that here in a bit. The next one is multiplication. You have times, product, multiplied by. The word of is typically used for multiplying by fractions. 1/2 of 10 is 5. So keep that in mind, but you can also use it in other instances like 3 bags of 4 apples. So it can be used in multiple situations, so it doesn't mean multiplication. And then division, the last one, we just have the basics: quotient, divided by, divided into. So when you see these, you need to think, hey, this is what I need to do. Okay. So write an algebraic expression for each variable expression. 8 more than a number. So 8 just means 8. A number, you can use any letter. And the more than, we just saw, means plus. So we have 8 plus, and I used x. Okay. The next one, I already have it started. 7 less than the product. 7 less the product of 4 and a number. So it doesn't say less than, it says less. 7 less. So it means 7 takes something away. And then it says product of. When you see product of, that means you're doing those things together. So 4 and a number, x. So 4 and number x means 4 times x, and then 7 less that would mean 7 minus 4x. Okay? Next one, 1/3 of the original area A. I kind of gave a brief example of this going through the list. So 1/3 of means multiplication. So we got to remember 1/3 times A would just be 1/3 A. And the last one, I kind of jumped ahead. The product of 7 and m to the 5th power. So this one is, depending how you word it, but I believe they want to say 7 times m to the 5th power. So the product of 7 and m to the 5th power. So 7 times m to the 5th. That one can be a little tricky depending on the wording. Okay, so here's some more. 13 less than a number. So in this case, we have n minus 13, because remember I said that word less than switches the order of them. 9 more than the quotient of b and 5. More than means plus. Quotient of b and 5 means b divided by 5. So you have 9 plus b divided by 5. 3/4 of the perimeter, p. So we have 3/4 of means times. So 3/4 times p. And the last one, n cubed divided by 2. So n cubed, cube means to the 3rd power. And then divided by 2 means divide. So n cubed divided by 2. So evaluate 2 to the 6th power. So remember, the powers mean repeated multiplication. This really says to us 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So we can use our properties of multiplication and just say, hey, we can multiply all of that together. So I'm going to go 4 times 4 times 4, extend on, and I get 16. And then 16 times 4 would give us 64. The next one, 4 to the 3rd power. I do this exact same thing. 4 times 4 times 4, well, 4 times 4 is 16, and then 16 times 4, again, is 64.